I want to talk about two other things, and then if you have any closing remarks. Um, the first thing I want to talk about is the personal relationships that you had to rebuild to maintain after your injury, and obviously the one that we left dangling is the relationship with your children. So talk to me about being a father, and what you've been through as a father.
I think being a father is what was the best thing for my rehab. I mean, my kids taught me probably more than I taught them at that point. Right now, my daughter's 15, and I don't know if you have kids, but it's a challenge right now. And I know that she's just 15. She's a good kid. Started liking boys a year and a half ago, but just she's becoming independent, and I think it's more of the thing. God, I got to let go. At that time, and we've been very, very close. But now that she's 15, and I don't know, that's just part of it. But she's growing up, and that's sad to see. But yeah, we've been close. My ex-wife hasn't been involved except for really the last 6 months, and so that's been the hardest thing. Now she's like feeling like supermom for 6 months. But
So did she not get custody when you split up?
well, it was a mean court battle, but we ended up with joint custody. Kids went to school with me, but she really wasn't there. She was involved from guy to guy, looking for whatever she was looking for, and she realized that wasn't working. So here lately, the last 6 months, put a lot of focus on the kids, and that I think has been good for the kids. Strain on me because the jealousy, man. You're not gonna be around now. She's 15. You're gonna be around, but she's not a bad woman. I did my first caregiver group to spite her. I wanted to show what a piece of garbage she was. Man, I wanted no part of that caregiver group no more because they have a hard time. They have a challenge too, and if we would have known, I think things would have been a little different. And so,
one of the things that fueled my advocacy at the beginning was part of my mission was that I had a co-author with Waiting.com who was the former spouse. She was in the same situation as your ex-wife. Marriage didn't last much longer, and had been through that ordeal, had some violence, and the marriage broke up over the violence. But so I've always had a real sense of that side of the equation, and a feeling that one of the real tragedies in the entire relationship is when the family fails because the professionals don't get it.
mm-hmm.
What can we do to protect the spouse, to protect the mom, to protect the children from that first 6 months to a year of real neurobehavioral extremes, to keep the family intact?
Well, the first thing is that they have to have the knowledge. I mean, they have to know what could happen. I mean, not everything's going to happen, but if you don't know, it catches you by surprise. And here's what I've learned from the different things. Once you've said something to somebody and they think that's true, a year down the road, they realize it's not. How do you not live that you lived for a year? So you've destroyed that. You can't not stop that feeling. So you got to stop them from feeling that in the beginning. And by them knowing that this is normal, that he may be impulsive. Now, violence, nobody should have to go through. I don't believe in any violence. And I know that violent people become more violent, and I was never a violent person. The only person I wanted to hurt was myself because I didn't want to be here. But I know people that almost killed their spouses, and you don't want that. At that point, if you're that violent, you need to go into an intensive rehab thing until you can do. And the spouses need to understand that it's part of the process of getting well. I mean, and you will get better. I mean, you may not be who you were, but you will get better. But if you don't know what's happening, and I think that's what I'm hearing when people come to the groups. Last night we had a couple new people, 18 months, had no clue what he was dealing with, and he was a professional before, and I can't get to a pretty similar field. He had no clue what he's doing. None of the doctors wanted to address it still. The doctors need to know, and if they don't know, they need to refer to somebody that does know. They at least need to know that. If you don't know, refer them to somebody that does know. And emergency rooms need to know when they come in. Again, Hope International, Annette Craig, believes that 90% of the teen suicides go back to a concussion that wasn't treated. You need to let families know. I mean, it might be a concussion. Well, let them know what to look for. Let them know that a month or 6 months down the line, because symptoms don't necessarily happen right away. My aggressive symptoms didn't happen until about 4 months. And you just need to know. I think knowledge is power. And the biggest thing is the resources. I mean, our state, they're all on our websites, and thank God we're the #1 hit site in our state. But some states are hidden, and I have my theories of why they're hidden. I think they're controlled, the resources, because of the amount of money, but they need to be right there. I believe that a family with all of the information and the help of their medical physician, their medical professionals, can make a good decision based on those outcomes.